How you doing, guys? My name is Ram from Pull the Trigger Social Coaching. Today I wanted to blast out some openers that I found work really well. Openers to simply break the ice and when approaching girls, just to open the conversation. Um, Now, I broke it up into day and night because we all know that day game is far different to night game. And I also wanted to point out that these openers, although fairly scripted, they derive from natural game. They derive from situations. So they're more examples more than anything for you to use, and examples for you to realize the concepts for yourself and to sort of mold your own openers and create your own openers once you realize and get the gist of this type of thing. So, the first one during the day that I've put down on my list here is going direct. And you can't go wrong with direct either way if done correctly and honestly during the day, because they're not being hit on by 1,000 guys just like how they would be at night. So you'd simply walk up to her and say, "Hi, I just noticed you and thought I'd come over and meet you. You seem like you've got an interesting energy. Um, I don't know. I'd regret it if I didn't introduce myself. My name's Ram." It's okay to if you're a little bit nervous. They would probably see that as kind of cute. You walk up and you've got the balls to come up and say hi. So that's that one. Now, obviously, we've got your standard opinion openers, but the key to opinion openers is to step it up a bit and to DHV yourself and demonstrate high value at the same time. One that I've got two here that I've chosen that I usually use. Um, and I walk up to a girl and I say, "Hi, this is pretty random, but you look like you're fairly outgoing. One of my buddies just texted me, and he's got birthday plans next weekend. We're tossing up between skydiving and bungee jumping. What do you reckon?" And then you can bounce on there to playful banter, tease her a bit. You know, well, you're not just a bookworm, are you? Do you like a bit of adventure? Have you been traveling much? And if you've been traveling, you tell her where you've been, and you go from there, because you're also demonstrating high value, that you've got a bit of culture, you're well traveled, that type of thing. Um, Now another one is you walk up to a girl and you say gift vouchers, and she'll be like, "What?" And then you say gift vouchers. What do you think of them? And then she will say whatever answer, and then you say, "Well, I've got $200 and I'm on the hunt for a gift for a photographer, friend of mine. Um, I know she would love it, but I'm told it's a little insensitive. What do you think?" So that's that one. Another good one is where'd you get that dress? So you'd walk up to her and you'd be like, "Hey, where'd you get that dress?" Or it could be a bag, whatever. Um, "Where'd you get that dress?" And she'll be like, um, "Why?" She'll be asking. And then you'd be like, "Well, one of my girlfriends dragged me all over Newtown last week for 3 hours straight to look for that exact same dress. Um, no luck. So just curious, where you got it from?" And so she'll tell you where you got it from, and then you'll be like, "Look, I'll make you a deal. I've got two pieces of gum and a pair of jeans. We should come to some form of agreement. I am willing to wear no pants for the rest of the day, just to exchange for that dress, because I'm such a loyal friend, and kind of play with it, have fun with it, um, and then she's not obviously going to give you the dress, so you'll say, "All right, look, if you want to do something a bit more spontaneous, a bit more unique, like go for a cup of coffee or dinner and a movie, that's fine. I'm not gonna fight it. Just whatever you want. Just don't try anything shifty. I know how you brunettes work. So again, an example of being playful and sort of just have fun with it. Um, Situational openers can be anything. You can use anything around you and be creative. That's the beauty about situational openers. One that Alex Coulson uses or has used before. That's really funny. Is in the lingerie section of Maya or something, you'd get some lingerie. You'd walk up to a girl that you like and say, "Hey, does my bum look big in this? You reckon it'd look big in this?" And so she'll just laugh or whatever. But that's it. You know, you've opened it. You've opened the conversation. Done. You've done it in a funny way. That's good. You made a good impression. Um, I've done the whole pen thing. Even you go to a newsagent or a stationery aisle wherever, and if you do see a girl that you like, you grab a pen and you be like, "Hey, excuse me, I'm going to ask you a really serious question. It's pretty serious. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like 10." And she'll be like, "Yeah, go on." And then you'll be like, "Do I look sexier with this pen or this pen?" And so again, you're being funny and confident, in a non-arrogant kind of way. Okay, let's move on to night game. Night openers. Written down 5 here. Okay, 1 is pretty standard, but you go up to her and you just say, "Hey, I don't know if you're the coolest person here or the weirdest, but I'm curious enough to find out. My name's Ram." And usually, if they're bored or they're looking, kind of like they're wishing some guy would come up to them, you'd be like, "Hey, I don't know, didn't want to interrupt you lurking from afar. You kind of look like you're about to make a move. But I don't know if you're the coolest person here or the weirdest, but I'm curious enough to find out." So that's how that one works. Another one is I use this all the time. I've got a confession to make. And you walk up, "Excuse me, I've got a confession to make." And she'll be like, "Yeah, what's that?" And you'll be like, "This is kind of embarrassing. Try not to tell everybody, but I almost wore the exact same dress as you tonight." And so she'll be laughing or whatever, and you can play around with it and say, I'm actually wearing the dress underneath my jeans." And you can keep going with that one. This one's pretty funny too. You walk up to her and you say, "Excuse me, you haven't had plastic surgery, have you?" And she'll be like, "No, why?" And you'll be like, "I'm just going to say you've got amazing cheekbones." And she'll be like, "Oh, wow, thank you." And you'll be like, "Yeah, you've got amazing cheekbones. Like, I can't believe you hadn't had plastic surgery. I mean, even I've had plastic surgery." And she'll be like, "Really? What have you had done?" And you'll be like, "Well, I had a penis reduction when I was 7. Kind of a sensitive topic. I don't really want to talk about it too much. So let's just move right along." And you do. And another one is when she looks at you once, turns away, twice, turns away, and that's good enough. If she looks at you the 3rd time, that's even better. But that's your cue to walk straight up to her and say, "Excuse me, you can't just look at me like that and not say anything." And then she'll look at you. She'll be like, "What?" And you'll be like, once is okay, twice is a bit of a perv. I do it sometimes, but 3 times it's a free show. I'm not a piece of meat. You can't just look at me like that and not say anything. So that's a good one. Another one is booty call opener. Booty call opener is when you've got a pre-written text from one of your girlfriends, and she's written something that sounds like a booty call, and you go up to a group of girls and you say, "Hey, girls, what do you think about this? I went on a date with this girl earlier today. Just a simple lunch date. Went to the beach, blah blah. Had lunch. Just say something really brief." And then you were like, and I got this text message, and pass it around. And then you say, "It looks like a booty call to me. I don't know. What do you girls think? Like, what distinguishes a booty call?" So then they talk about it, rah rah, and then you say to your target, "Oh, so you're obviously the bad one of the group. You obviously know what a booty call message looks like." So anyway, that's a few for me, guys. Remember to DHV yourself and make sure you get creative. All right, see ya.